like this. This is an article from marytoko.com's website. This is an article by, or a statement from Dr. Howard Ernovitz. And by the way, he's no slouch. He has a PhD, a degree in microbiology from University of Michigan, Department of Pathology at Washington University. He's the director of molecular and cellular engineering at Zoma Corporation, a senior scientist, Institute of Cancer Medical Research Institute of San Francisco. He developed a cat vaccine against feline leukemia. Okay? He says he believes HIV is a hybrid monkey virus that was in the polio vaccine given to 26 million Americans between 55 and 61 in the form of a sugar cube. How many of you got the sugar cube polio vaccination? I did. You did. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a big deal. You go in, you got this little sugar cube with this drop of red fluid in there, and you eat it. All the kids in school lined up to do it. I'm convinced my oldest brother got polio from the vaccine. Now, he didn't get real crippled by it. He has one leg shorter than the other. I do too. Partially one leg about a quarter inch shorter, not much. But my parents started a club in Peoria, Illinois called the WOW Club, Walking or Wheeling. It was a club for people in wheelchairs. I grew up, from the time I can remember, going to activities, bowling, picnics, parties and stuff with the WOW Club that my parents started, because I grew up with these people in wheelchairs. Many, many, many of them from polio. It was real common I was born in 53, very common in the 50s. Then they claimed they got the cure for polio. I'm not convinced they did. They might have changed the name and got the symptoms a little different, and I'll call it, something else, multiple sclerosis or something. I don't know. But there's a lot of folks who are really suspicious about this. I don't think they fixed it. I think or like when they started getting diseases that were carried in sick cows, and they said, we got to pasteurize the milk. So they start pasteurizing the milk, which kills almost everything good in the milk. And then some of the diseases go away. Well, at the same time, they started inspecting the herds for sick cows and not taking milk from sick cows. So how do you know which one caused the effect? Is it the pasteurization, or is it the inspecting the herds and not taking milk from sick cows? Of course, guess who took the credit? Pasteurization cured the problem. I would be real cautious about believing that, too. But this is a chart. Mary Toko has this on her website of all the states. I just picked a few here in alphabetical order. The percent of increase in autism just over a 10-year span. Illinois back in '92 had only 5 kids with autism, and then they got 3,800 kids with autism in 2001 and 2. 75,000% increase in autism. Nobody in Mississippi was autistic in '92. All of a sudden it jumps up to 461. 10 years later. I mean, any doctor with half of a brain in his head ought to be looking at these statistics and saying, what is causing this? What is causing autism? I don't know why they're not putting the connection together that, hey, maybe it has to do with the poisons we're putting in the kid's system. The vaccines could be causing it. Mary Toko has an article here that says, America has the highest death rate of sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS it's called. I remember one of my neighbors when I was a kid growing up, they said, the baby died in the crib. SIDS baby, sudden infant death. I said, what is that? Baby just died. Parents go in the morning, the baby's dead. In 1970, Australia made vaccines non-mandatory. 50% of the parents opted out of the program, and SIDS dropped by 50% that year. Don't you think somebody with a brain would say, maybe there's a connection? Hello? Why are we vaccinating these babies? Dr. William Torch of the University of Nevada School of Medicine at Reno said 2/3 of the SIDS babies had been vaccinated with DPT in the preceding 3 weeks. Well, if 2/3 of the kids that die in their crib just got a vaccine, I mean, somebody ought to put 2 and 2 together, don't you think? You don't need to be a genius to figure that out. You at least should start looking for maybe a possible smoking gun here, all right? Outside of Atlanta, Georgia, you can go about, I'm going to guess 70 or 80 miles, probably more than that. Yeah, 80 or 90 miles, I don't know, east of Atlanta, to the little town of Elberton. Elberton is famous for its granite mines. They mine granite there. Of course, Stone Mountain, Georgia is a huge granite rock. If you've never seen that, you ought to go see it. But you go north on Highway 77, about 7 or 8 miles. The Cherokee Indians call this the center of the earth. That was their holy ground, you know, the center of the earth right there, north of Elberton, Georgia. Well, you drive up that road, and there's absolutely nothing out there. I mean, it's just zero. Except way off in the distance, about, I don't know, a quarter mile off the highway, you see these rocks sticking up out of the ground, like Stonehenge. I went over there to see them. I said, what is this? I'd heard about them, read about them quite a bit. I said, I want to see it, okay? What you'll see on these rocks is very interesting. There's a stone on the ground that says it's put up by Arthur C. Christian, a pseudonym. In other words, he gave a false name. According to the story, the local story there, the people at the granite quarry that dig out the granite and cut tombstones and stuff out of it and sell it, ship it all over the place, and granite slabs for, you know, countertops and things like that. They said some guy came in, paid cash, had a drawing, said, this is what I want made. Make this for me. And on a certain day, I think it's on the equinox or something, or the solstice or whatever, the sun shines through a little hole